let me just set the tone, and then we gonna dive together. We gonna hop in there. So I was in an energy for some time. I want to say maybe 2 years ago, maybe even three, when I was craving friendships. Like I wanted someone close to me who I could talk to, vibe with. We were still semi-pandemic, and the energy was really weird, and people didn't really connect. And I didn't know where I desired this energy of friendships, because I have people I can call, right? I have people I can talk to. But there was this energy of, I want a friend. Like, I didn't want nobody with a baby. I had requirements, boo, okay? No kids. I was single, so I would have preferred for you to be single. I'm active, so I preferred for you to be active. Like, I just wanted what I wanted, and I didn't want to feel bad about it. Unfortunately, it didn't happen. And the people who was riding with me has always been riding with me, but they weren't in close proximity, and they had their own lives. So I kind of just started to embark in my own journey of, you know what, I don't have kids, I don't have a man. I'm in my era of I'm feeling good, and I just want to enjoy it. If a friend comes, they come. And because I was on that frequency, I really started to enjoy myself. Like, I started to realize, like, I enjoy myself with people, not so much me enjoying the person, if you get what I'm saying. Like, I realized I'm gonna have a good time because I'm there, which leads me into this story. Your girl stepped out, got invited by someone who was obviously curious to know me, and then this heifer done ghost me. Men don't just ghost, women ghost too. But I want to tell you how this helped shape me in such a beautiful way, because in every story that I have, y'all know there's a lesson, right? Y'all know that there's something for you to take from it to help you on your journey. So let's talk about how these heifers ain't. Welcome to my channel. Welcome. Oh Lord. Okay. I'm not even gonna edit that, because life ain't always prissy and cute and dainty and delicate and clean. Sometimes you're gonna slip off the edge of the couch and let it happen. But I hope that y'all are feeling amazing. I hope that you know, this light might be a little too bright. Let's move it that way. That look better? I hope it looks better. I don't know, but we gonna pray on it. I hope that y'all feeling amazing, and I hope that you get humor from this experience. I hope that you take it for what it is. Now, one thing about your girl Shay, okay? I'm gonna have me a good time. We gonna laugh, we gonna cry, we're gonna feel our emotions, because ain't nobody a robot, even though AI is trying to take over. We ain't robots, we feel, okay? And when you feel, it allows you to be more humanistic. And when you can self-regulate those feelings, meaning you don't allow those feelings to conquer your whole identity. You give them space, right? And then you move on. You analyze, you recognize, and then you strategize. Oh, that's on a shirt. Don't take it. I said it. It's mine. I'll send it to you. So that is what the energy was. So can I set the tone? First and foremost, if you're new, welcome. If you have been riding with your girl, even in her inconsistencies, okay, we here, we in here together, okay? Consistently inconsistent. There's a pattern in everything. And if you like this video, do subscribe, okay? Make sure that whoever needs to hear it hears it. And y'all know what I gotta do, right? Make sure it's recording, of course, because we ain't got time to just be talking to talk, even though I do talk to myself and I answer myself, and that is my therapy, and I'm good at it. Don't get it twisted. So let's dive into it. I am a part of a running group, and in this running group, I decided to join this running group because why not? Like, I used to run track. I wanted to get into a community. I felt like I saw nothing but Black people, and I was like, let's go. Okay, let's go. You look good. I look good. I belong here. I got into the group, and it really wasn't what I thought it was going to be. But then again, as I said in the intro, wherever I am, it's going to be a good time, because I'm a good time, right? So when I got into this club, it was a vibe. I'm not going to say the name because they did not pay me to promote them, okay? But if you know, and if you're in Brooklyn and you know what P&P is, then that's all you need to know. And it was a vibe. Don't get it twisted. Me being in the group, they had events. Every time I went, I had a good time. And when I didn't go, my discernment told me not to go, and come to find out it wasn't what it was supposed to be. I digress. What ended up happening is some of the girls in the chat, or some of the people in the chat, started to like notice my energy, which how can you not? And I wasn't performing for anybody, because as y'all know, some of my videos I have explained how some of my traumatic experiences in life have caused me to perform, which caused some problems in my life. So I don't perform. What you see is what you get. I'm multifaceted, and that's it. So one of these people, this female, hit me up and was like, hey, do you want to go to brunch? And I'm like, okay. Now, if she's watching this video, I really don't care, because I'm not hiding anything, and I'm not going to say anything that's incorrect. But if she is watching this video, girl, you definitely helped me, and I don't even know if you know you did. Okay, so when she said brunch, I want to kind of get into brunches, because I feel like there's a certain type of elegance and vibe to it without the slushes coming out. But I was like, okay, let's go. Now, the main reason why I didn't want to go was because the night before I hung out with my homegirl, and I was tired, and my friend was like, Shay, go, you don't go nowhere, just go. And I ended up going, thanks to him. In my own mind, saying, Shayla, she invited you. Don't be the person who turns down an invite by a person who actually lets you know, I do not do this, but I want to connect with you. So because she initiated, and because this was something new for her, and I knew that we were going to have a good time because I'm there, I decided to say, okay. We end up meeting, beautiful vibe, beautiful restaurant, amazing like energy. And we end up talking, and everything was cool, I thought. Now, I don't consider myself an ally or a enemy of the LGBTQ community. I just don't care. I literally just don't care. The whole pronouns things, I just don't care. And because I don't care, I can be very objective, because I think in everything there lies some understanding, there lies some truth, there lies something where it's like, okay, I can connect with that, right? So if you choose to identify something, that's your choice. Who am I to touch that? Just don't get mad at me if my eyes don't perceive that. If it becomes a hassle, we can just depart. I don't have to attack you. What's your name? Joanna, you look like a Robert, but if that's your name, whatever. But I'm not gonna go too far where now my values are touched. So I think that that's just fair. It's not attacking. It's, I respect your viewpoints, but you have to respect mine. And sometimes with that community, it could get very like bullyish on their end, where it's like, if you don't respect who I am and what I love and who I love and then there's a problem. And it's like, boo, I'm not going there with you. I'm just gonna leave. You argue by yourself. I digress. Now, there was a conversation in that where I was like, okay, I don't know if that's where things went left, because I felt like I was still neutral with her. I let her know, like, listen, as long as people can have a conversation and seek to understand without seeking to criticize and trying to condemn, or without the intention of you trying to get me on your side, I'm cool. I can talk your talk. I really talk your talk, but just know my values are still my values. So I thought that was where things went left, but I don't know. So then there was another conversation, and in that conversation, I just had my own viewpoints. One thing about me, if I just meet you, it's wiser for me to come authentic, because then you get a kind of have a concept of who I be, right? You don't know, but you have a concept. And if I'm coming off a certain way in the beginning, then you kind of can gauge where I'll be throughout the duration of our friendship. That's just how I move. And I think it's fair. That's why we're not doing the whole representation. Fuck that. Because then how long are you going to represent this? For months? For weeks? For years? I don't know. And I don't have time. So there was a moment where my discernment said something's going left. And how do I know? Because throughout the whole conversation, she was not on her phone, and neither was I. But towards the end of the conversation, she got on her phone, and she was like, her mind was sidetracked. And I was like, oh, I won't be seeing you again, buddy. And it wasn't because of me. I just felt the energy of, okay, she detached. She tapped out. I didn't have to say anything. We was going to see. This is where I think it's interesting. People know within a conversation, within an experience, if they're going to continue to deal with you or not. Let me make sure it's recording. And it is. People know within the exchange of another person, I'm going to see this person again, or I'm not. My intentions is to say, hey, let's link up again. Or my intentions is to be like, you know what, this was fun, but I don't think it's gonna work. Now, granted, can I just put a pin? Boop. This woman told me she was a therapist, or she carries the therapist hat. I don't know what that means. It's either you're a therapist or you're not. And with that, I think that, and then she said that she's been to therapy. Now, I've learned something. Agree, disagree, it's up to you. It's okay, you still my people. People who I have experienced, this is now a personal thing because it's what I have experienced. People who I have experienced who have gone to therapy or will state like I'm in therapy are usually very off. I'm not gonna lie. And I can hear y'all saying, well, that's why they need therapy. But no. Are you using the tools that therapy is giving you? Because for you to be the spokesperson for therapy, you fucking up. And why do I say that? Because for her to say that, one who hears it would assume, okay, you can articulate well, you can communicate well, you are in the process of regulating your emotions, because therapy has a certain energy of helping you self-reflect so that you can get to the answers that you need, right? Usually therapists ask you, well, why do you feel this way? That gives you time to reflect and come up with an answer, correct? Okay. She said to me, I enjoyed this event, this moment. And I said, me too. And we was talking about meeting up again. Everything was flowing. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, maybe she really didn't tap out. Maybe I read it wrong. Never doubt the intuition. Mama said, never doubt it. And I'm happy I kept it in my damn pocket. So anyway, she was like, okay, so next time you pick the place. And I'm like, okay, I could do that. And I was like, I really enjoyed it. Now, granted, something in my spirit was like, Shayla, you kind of saying this a lot. And she's saying it a lot. If we liked it, why are we gushing over it so much? Like, okay, we enjoyed it. Okay, let's move on. But whatever. She says, my cab is here, my Uber's here. And I was like, so what are you going to get into? She's like, I'm going to something later, whatever. So this is my thing. Ladies, please let me know in the comments if you do the same thing. I said, we're both going home separately. We're both women, right? You're getting in public transportation. I'm getting in public transportation, whether it's an Uber or not. I said, so just text me, let me know you got home safe, because I was the last person that you were with. I don't know, because she said she's either going to go home or go to the event, so I don't know. In my mind, I'm the last person you was with. Safety protocol, girl code 101. Text the person that you was with to let them know that you got home safe. We are both Black women. We are a threat just because of our existence. Girl, just text me I'm home, damn it. Okay. She says, okay, I will. I say, okay, I will. We hug and she goes away. I text her and I'm like, oh, I said, I enjoyed this moment. I thank you so much for inviting me, because you didn't have to and you chose to. Then I said, because she made a statement while we was at dinner, let's take a photo, let's put it in the chat so people know we made it out the chat. Somehow, I don't know why we didn't do it, but we didn't do it, whatever. And I was like, girl, I forgot that we didn't take the photo. These are 2 text messages now. The third one was, oh, I'm home. Did you get home safe? Crickets. I'm like, okay, Shayla, don't rush it. It is what it is. And then I'm like, okay, well, that was an hour. She told me she lives in Manhattan. We was in Brooklyn. I'm like, it's not that far. And I'm like, should I text again? And I'm like, nah, fuck that. Why? Because if I was texting you during that whole day before we met, I know your phone is good. That's 1. 2, I am not a fan. I'm just not. And what I mean, I'm not a fan, I'm not begging anybody, not at this stage. If I check on you and you choose not to let me know that you got home safe, that's not on me. I already did my part. But what was weird was I started to feel uneasy, and I felt uneasy because she made it seem like it was a good time. She even said, you picked the next spot. She kept saying like this was good, and it was like this I don't know what it was, and I don't want to use these fancy words. I just know shorty was weird to do all that with, knowing I don't even think I'm cool with this girl. Like, for her to know in somewhere in her mind that we were not going to meet up again, why even say you plan the next event? You're in therapy. Why not just say, and I'm gonna use that, yes, I am. Why not just communicate, hey, sis, this was a vibe, but I don't know if we mixed the way that I'm looking for, because I am looking for a friendship. I would receive it. And because I was thinking all these things, I called my friend, and I was like, something's not right. Like and I started to self-regulate. This is why I love me some me, because I was able to go through the emotions of thinking like, did I do something wrong? Was it my fault? Oh my goodness. I don't know. To wait a second. No, it wasn't my fault. She doesn't really have to let me know anything because I just met her. It would have been cool. It would have been nice. And I felt all of the different versions of me. My inner child feeling unloved and unseen and unappreciated. My teenager self saying, fuck that hoe. It didn't matter. She didn't have to hit us up in the first place. And then my adult self saying, we didn't come with any type of preconceived notions. We didn't come with any level of the future. We came to be in the moment. And in that moment, it was a beautiful time. She didn't want to communicate with you after. Yeah, it would have been nice for her to tell you she got home. But guess what, babes? She doesn't owe you that. So wash your hands. And I knew that it was completely a dub because the next day I still didn't get a text message. Now, granted, someone could say, Shayla, you're doing too much. I don't give a damn. Maybe you're not doing enough. What I realized in that moment was people are not obligated to anything. And even though that is a positive, it could also be a negative, because with that mindset of we're not obligated, I don't have to do it. If it's not in my piece, I'm not. It's like, then keep your ass home, because at the end of the day, you are interacting with another human. And you're acting with a human that you made a decision to. Let me pull back. At the end of the day, shorty, you just didn't have to say shit, period. I was minding my business. That's one. Two, you knew at some point that you were not comfortable. You didn't want to engage. You knew that we wasn't going to talk later. You knew this friendship. Whatever you knew, you knew. And my thing is, I care about anybody that if I am with you, I think it's just, we live in New York. It's scary out here. Just text me you got home. You don't have to hit me up later. I just feel like that's just a safety thing. But then again, once I realized I didn't come in with any attachments, you get what I'm saying? I wasn't looking for a best friend. I'm not looking for a best friend. I realized like it's okay that you don't always have to keep something if you know it doesn't serve you. And that is what she taught me. She, in her silence and her inability to communicate or to shut it down within a time, it let me know a couple of things. One, I cannot control the outcome. The only thing I can control is how I respond and how I move. Period, point blank, period. And that's something that you always have to just keep in the back of your mind, in the front of your mind, in your pocket, in your breast systems. You will always have, because life will always show you that you cannot control everything, but you can control how you move, what you do, and your outcome. She also showed me that if you know that something isn't serving you, you don't have to necessarily say it's not serving you. You could literally take your stuff and leave. Simple. She did not explain to me, Shayla, it was something you did. She was like, I just don't want it. Whatever it is, I don't want it. And I'm discerning enough to read the room and realize I don't need her to tell me anything. By you not responding, you obviously just didn't connect, and that's okay. She also showed me that communication is not so much required, but it is preferred so that it creates clarity on all angles, right? Did she have to text me that she got home? No. Did she have to tell me to my face that, you know what, this was probably not gonna be a friendship, or I wasn't even looking for a friendship, that we're not gonna have brunch again, so I don't know why I'm telling you look for a place. She didn't have to say anything, but the clarity would have been easier because we both could have just went our separate ways and just enjoyed that moment. And that goes to my last point. Sometimes when the outcome isn't favorable, if you're not careful enough to differentiate the outcome from the experience that was had, if it was a positive experience, that negative outcome can it can overthrow the positive experience. I had a positive experience with this person, one, because I was there and I got out of my comfort zone, but because even in our conversation, we were vibing, right? And because of that, I'll be damned if I allow her that's not the word. If I allow her lack of communication and clarity to overpower an experience that made me want to do more brunches. Let me make sure it's still recording. And it is. I refuse to allow that to dictate, well, damn, see, now I'm not going to let nobody else hang out with me. I'm not going, no. But it also kept my eyes mindful, right? It kept my ears open. When someone says, oh, I want to hang out with you, I think that you're a good vibe. Now I feel, because of that experience, why? What have I shown you? Do I feel comfortable enough? Do I feel like we've had a conversation where it's like, okay, this could be a good experience, even if the outcome isn't whatever? Because I didn't speak to her long enough. She saw something. That was all on her. I was like, okay, whatever. Which allowed me to also, take the lessons, y'all. Take the lessons. It showed me that some people will see how much of a vibe you are and just want to be a part of it and know like they probably can't rock with it. It's not for them. And that is okay. And you could be the reason. We live in a society where it's like, oh, it's never us, it's them. Sometimes it could be you. It could be. But what's interesting or what's important is to realize that you don't always have to just agree because somebody wants to be in your space. You have every right to be like, nah, I'm cool. Because you know you're a good vibe. You know what kind of experience you're going to provide for this person. You don't know what kind of experience they're going to provide for you. And if they haven't given you enough where it's like, I'm actually more curious about you, you don't have to say yes. That was important to me because sometimes I do things out of obligation. Sometimes I do things out of, and even though I'm able to help people, I love when I have these moments because it keeps me on my toes. And a lot of people who help assist people forget that they need to stay on their toes. That's why a lot of shit comes out publicly, because they're coming up real clean and proper like they ain't got shit. Oh, your girl got shit and I can still help you get to where you need to be. Oh, Shayla, okay? So again, I'm still going on brunches. I'm still going to get to know people. But again, having discernment and knowing, do I genuinely want to get to know you, or am I going because you genuinely want to get to know me? I made a decision, like I plan on going to brunches by my damn self and seeing who I connect with there, because the goal is not to shut down when the outcome is not favorable. The goal is to take from that experience, learn what you need to learn, move forward and do better. Until next time, peace.